In problem number 2 in the Venn diagrams practice packet, we're now given a Venn diagram but without the numbers filled in, and so we're going to have to take the information that's given at the top and break it down so that we can figure out what goes in the circles and in the overlap part, and then we'll be able to answer the questions from below. So we have to go back to the very beginning and read the question or read the information that's given. And it starts with Eon being asked, has asked 60 students. So it's important to remember that number, and I'm going to actually go ahead and just highlight or circle that or put a box around it, some way to identify that we start with 60 people that are going to be included in this entire set of information. And they're asked whether they listen to two popular radio stations, KROK, which is a rock station, and KRAP, which is a rap station. And so you got these two rap stations, and it says that he found that 23 students listened to the rock station, KROK, and 18 listened to the rap station, and 8 listened to both. And with that information, we should be able to fill in the rest of the diagram. Now you have to be careful because it says 23 listen to KROK, but that's not the part that goes over here. This entire circle would represent 23 people that listen to that station when it says that. It says 23 listen to KROK, and then it says 18 listen to KRAP, the rap station, and so that's 18 that belong here. But remember, there's this part in the middle that overlaps where it says 8 that listen to both. And so we have to actually start with that piece of information because that goes in the middle, because we know that 8 listen to both. But that 8 is a part of the 23 that listen to the rock station. So to find the number that belong here, I have to think about the idea that there's 23 minus the 8 gives me the 15 that actually belong in this section, because 15 plus 8 gives me 23 that listen to KROK. And then if I think about the 18 that listen to KRAP, to find this part, I need to take that 18 minus 8, which gives me the 10 that belong in this part over here, because now it makes sense with what was given. 18, 10 plus 8, listen to KRAP, and the 23, 15, listen to KROK. And so that's the first thing you have to do with this kind of Venn diagram, is to get these circles filled in correctly, because if I don't do that part right, then the rest of my answers are going to be incorrect. The most common mistake is students will take this 23 and put it in here. They'll take this 18 and put it in here, and 8 in there, and the numbers won't add up. And you'll find all of a sudden that it's just not working right. So you have to remember this entire circle, all of these people listen to this radio station, all of these people listen to this radio station, these people happen to be ones that overlap. Now you also realize that there were 60 students that were surveyed, and if you take these three numbers and put them together, the 15 plus 8 plus 10, that number only adds up to 33. And you have to understand that it's not going to add up to all 60 students, because the question was asked, these are two popular radio stations, and people are asked whether they listen to these two. Well, you have to also realize that some people might not listen to either. And the place you list the ones that don't listen to either is on the outsides of the circles, because they would not be included in the circles. So if I had 60 people that were surveyed and only 33 of them are represented in the circles, that means there's another 27 that are outside the circle that don't listen to either. So we have these 27 that we're going to want to know about as well, that listen to neither of these two stations. Maybe they don't like rock or rap, and so they don't listen to those stations. They're popular with some students, but not with all. So now it should be real easy for us to answer the questions as long as we have the circles filled in correctly and we know the numbers, the representation, and what they do. should be much easier to answer the question, so we can go on to that part now. So the first part is how many students listen to KROK but not KRAP. So we want to know how many listen to just this right here and not that. So it's exclusionary. The not excludes people that listen to this. So we just have those 15. We could actually think of it as there's 23 of them minus the 8 equals the 15 that just listen to this station but not the other one. And then the other side of that now, again, these questions are really easy to answer once we get the circles filled in correctly. How many students listen to the rap station but not the rock station? So again, we go back to the 18, that, but we don't want to include those 8 that listen to, because the not rock excludes those people. And so that gives us the 10 that we had listed just in this side of the circle. There are just 10 that listen to KRAP but not KROK, the rock station. So those are the numbers we're looking for. So those are our 10, those are our 15. And then here's the question that we really answered when we did the rest of the people outside the circle. How many students listen to neither of these stations? And that is when we took the 60 people minus the 33 represented in the circles, that gives us the 27 that listen to neither KRAP or KROK, the rap or the rock station. So you have people that don't listen to either. And that's again where our Venn diagrams are useful for making sense of information, oftentimes associated with surveys, sometimes associated with probability questions, but oftentimes just a way of organizing information and trying to make sense out of information that's gathered, where people can actually respond sometimes to more than one answer. So there's question number 2 from the Venn diagram practice packet.